Guru Nation, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back. What a busy day, busy week it's been, a busy year, 2022. Happy New Year. For those of you guys watching in the future, who knows what year it is, but hopefully it's good and hopefully you're doing well. So we've got somebody I've been talking about a lot, Luis, about international medical graduates recently. And I don't know if it's because I moved to a border town. I'm here in Yuma, Arizona, very close to Mexico. And my first employee is probably going to be an international medical graduate physician from Mexico. That is, he's actually a cardiologist in Mexico. And here he's a medical assistant. So I was telling him, like, hey, there's a whole world, man. It's called clinical research. And he said, really? I didn't know you can do that, because in Mexico, it's mostly hospitals. I said, yeah, we're starting the site. So Luis is a perfect example. He's an international medical graduate. We're going to learn all about his story. He's a physician in Honduras, and now he's in research. And we're going to get into everything. So Luis, first of all, thank you so much for coming on the show. It really means a lot to me and others like you who are maybe going to follow your footsteps now.
Yeah, I hope so. No, Dan. Thanks to you. When I first came here, actually, I was trying to become a certified doctor here, a certified physician. But it's a long process. It's an expensive process. It's a hard
ECFMG,
process.
right? ECFMG.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we had to approve to become certified as an ECFMG physician, and then get our license. So in the meantime, I was looking for something to do because also one thing that you don't know, I'm under a J2 visa because my wife, she is a J1 holder. So she is already practicing medicine here. She went into the medical residency and now is doing her fellowship in nephrology.
Awesome.
So she's a J1, and since I'm a J2, I'm allowed to work and study within the US. But given my background, it's really hard to get any chances or any position in our field.
Yeah.
So I started to work last year as a medical assistant in a small private internal medicine practice. It was good, because the doctor, she allowed me to see patients under her wing. So it was like I was like being a kind of an intern. So I saw the patients, then I went back with her with a plan, and then she came into the room and then discussed the plan with the patients. So I was doing like kind of my thing, but still always I had this thing on research. And I'm from Honduras. Unfortunately, my country does not invest in research as many other countries, from Latin America. But I always had this. So I applied, and as you said on your videos, apply. I sent a lot of applications, about 200 applications to become a CRA, a CRC, even as a translator in the hospital.
Just everything, anything you saw, you apply.
Exactly.
That's good because you qualify. Here's the thing I love about international medical graduates, your background, you qualify for anything. It's just a matter of that employer seeing your value and maybe needing help at the time, which, by the way, guys, everybody needs help right now. I don't know if you look around in 2022, there's a labor shortage like you've never seen in my life. I've never seen the labor shortage like this. And good people are just hard to find. But IMG, I've always hired IMGs, and it started by accident when I started my clinic in 2005. It started by accident. The referrals came to me because of the physicians that I worked with. They said, hey, hire this girl. She's actually a doctor in the Philippines. So I was like, oh, awesome. Why not? Why not hire a doctor, And then it just I started realizing these IMGs, I mean, every individual is different. Nobody's perfect, but the IMG, if I put them in a category, it's a perfect study coordinator. Because the hard part is to teach somebody the clinical stuff. It's not to teach them the research. necessarily. You know, the research is just the fundamentals. So how was
Yeah.
the how was your process like from those 200 applications? How many called you in for an interview and how did that go?
So, as you said, it's pretty important to apply because I just got two interviews.
From 200.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
1%. Is that
yeah,
1%?
I
My
have
math is bad.
yeah, it's 1%. I have
1%.
I have any experience on research, just my medical background. Uh, Beside that, I have I never published a paper on my life. I was just what I did to get my medical degree. So I guess that it was against me. And the first interview that I had, it was early last year, and it was super bad. So I thought that it was a good interview, and I thought I was gonna get the position. However, they never called me back. And when I got the second one in November of last year, I was concerned, because I thought I was a good applicant for the first interview. So when I started to look videos on YouTube, and I came into your channel,
Ah,
and then I saw one of your videos, which was like 4 years ago recorded, and it was a CRC interview questions for both inexperienced and experienced candidates.
yeah.
So, man, and everything that you said on that video that it was a red flag, it was on my first interview. I did exactly the same that you did.
Really?
Yeah. So on that moment,
Wow.
I realized, man, what I didn't look videos before. Why not? I couldn't see this video.
That's crazy.
So
I didn't realize that because I at the time 4 years ago, I think I remember the video. I didn't really do too many interviews. I'm a contract CRA now, but it's not like I have experience getting interviewed. So I was going by what other people told me, what they were asked, and so I kind of put like everything together in that video. But it's good to know that it's kind of close to what happened.
yeah, it's super close. They asked me about my research past, of what studies that I went through on that side. What was my what if I did basically my homework on that research, which I didn't.
Yeah.
You know? So and
Wow.
as you said, the guy was just very polite. He finished the interview, and they told me, okay, we're gonna be in touch, and da da da, and they never called me back. So for the
Wow.
second one, I did my homework. I did. I got a lot of as much information on the site about their studies, the studies that was going on. I'm working in oncology,
Oh,
so
okay.
you also I saw a lot of your videos. You have another one that it's helping someone to prepare on an oncology CRC interview. Actually,
Yeah.
I I, I wrote the names down. So
I even forgot I did that one. I
yeah,
forgot. Wow.
it was pretty helpful because you mentioned there all the classifications for that are used in oncology. So I
Yeah.
went back just to have those in mind when just in case they came in the interview, which they did. You also
Yeah.
mentioned something that to have an answer because they will ask you why oncology. You said that precisely question on that video, and it came on the interview. So
Wow. This is awesome, man. I love this. I love hearing this. That's amazing. So the question
yeah,
came up of why do you like oncology or why oncology?
why oncology? Why I decided to do research in oncology.
And what was
So
your answer? What did you say? People, because I assume this is the one you got hired for.
yeah, exactly. This is
So
the
you
one that
must
I
have
got
said
hired.
something good, Luis. What did you tell them?
Well, to be honest, so my dad just passed away from a glioblastoma the last year.
Oh, my
Uh,
condolences.
Thank you. Yeah, so that was the main reason for me to go to oncology. And they told me, yeah, basically that is the reason that move on people to become a research coordinator or whatever in oncology. And I guess that it's pretty touchy, I think.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that helped me, I feel. But
I think that's a common, unfortunately, cancer affects so many of us. I mean,
yeah,
everybody knows somebody or either closely, it's luck if you know someone very close to you who passed away from cancer, someone distant from you, but everybody knows somebody.
yeah, yeah. So
Mm.
you know what? When that interview finished, I didn't put all my eggs on that basket
Right.
because I felt that it was a good interview, and I felt the same on the on the first interview, but with the big difference that I prepared for this one.
But they
So
knew they knew that you were not a research experience, right? But they knew that you were a physician or you are a physician. And by the way, in Honduras, did you actually treat patients there? Or did you have a practice or wow,
mhm,
okay, okay.
yeah,
So they know that. They know you have patient skill, bedside manner. They know that you understand ConMed and AE and contraindication better than probably any of their staff that they have as coordinators. And
yeah.
they know that maybe you didn't know as much research, but what kind of questions did they ask about research, knowing that you didn't have much experience in research? What kind of questions did they ask? Did they ask difficult ones or how was it?
Uh, so they basically asked me about the EHR.
Ah,
So
okay.
if I have a, because one of the big shocking difference between our countries in Latin America and here is the way that the medical records are. We're
Mm.
still basically using paper and pen to keep those to track this down, but here is different. With the many type of programs to do the medical records. So they asked me about my experience on that. Luckily, I was an MA on that moment, so I had a pretty good experience
See,
on medical records. Yeah.
there you go.
Um,
There you go. This is why I
mhm.
tell, especially IMGs, but anybody looking, just if you can't get your first job in research, okay, get your first job in healthcare, get it in medicine, just get close to the action. It may not be exactly where, like a lot of people watching the channel want to be CRAs. Well, then they apply for CRA role and don't get any and get discouraged and forget about doing it. Well, no, go to a site level first. You're not going to get your goal right away. You
Yeah.
have to work. So MA, that's perfect. That was where you got the EMR, EHR experiences.
Exactly. And it's hard. Sometimes you believe that it's gonna come up just when you are navigating on but it's not. So it's really hard.
Wow.
So I was able to do that. And then also one of the other questions they asked me, what do you know about research? So I was honest with them. I told them I feel that I don't know nothing. I feel that I had never published anything. I have never do any research in my medical life or in my life. But what I know, the things that they taught us in the school, like the type of study designs, the statistical measures that we use, and all of that. So I guess I thought that I was gonna be a more naive than what that they thought I was because they told me no worries. We have hired in the past another IMGs, and we trained them to become good CRCs.
Yeah, IMGs make very good cereal. I'm telling you guys, the IMG, and then on top of it, you have the immigration thing, which I have no advice for. I don't understand. My dad, technically, I'm an immigrant. I was born in Romania. We moved here when I was 3, but I didn't do anything. So I don't know what my parents went through, like a whole process. So I have no idea how to answer people when they ask about immigration issues. Do you have any advice with in regards to this?
Well, the only thing, as I told you, I'm under a J2 visa because I also, when you are applying to this position, they ask you if you need a visa or not. So if you need a sponsor for the visa, but I applied to many of them that I'm sorry. I answered to many of those places that I need a sponsor, and those never called me back.
I
So
see.
I'm lucky because my wife, she's practicing here, and I'm under the J2 visa. And actually, that was one of the biggest concerns that they have during the interview when I told them I'm under the J2 visa, because they didn't have a lot of knowledge on that. They didn't know if I was going to be able to work, if I was legally allowed to work within the US.
Right.
And well, they figured it out later, and they told me, okay, you're clear to go.
What and the J2B, I'm assuming is when you have a spouse that's a
Yeah, exactly. Hmm.
that's a
Yeah.
J1B. Somebody. So
Hmm.
what's a J1B? That somebody got
It's a
sponsored?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, ECF and G is the sponsor
Ah,
for
I
all the
see.
J1,
I
or
see.
well, the IMGs, because it's
Shout out to your wife for doing the ECFMG. That's not easy.
yeah, yeah.
That's
She is. She
that's
actually
not easy.
she's doing, man. Let me tell you this. She's doing her fellowship in nephrology at Johns Hopkins.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's gonna do transplant kidney next year, and she's from Honduras as well, and she'll become the first Honduran doctor graduated from Honduras, born and raised in Honduras, to have that title, the transplant kidney specialist.
Really?
Yeah,
Really? We need to interview her for Latinos in clinical research. We need to interview both of you guys on the same time.
yeah,
I'm gonna set one
yeah.
up. We can do it in
I'm gonna
Spanish.
talk to her. Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I'm on it, but I don't talk that much. I can, but Monica is fantastic. She's used to be a news reporter in Colombia, so she knows Spanish.
Yeah,
But
we
that's
should.
awesome. That's awesome. So
Yeah.
I guess how long have you been working as a CRC now?
I just have 1 month, basically one
Okay.
month.
What are they
I'm
doing?
still.
It's
It's
academic
a
medical center, right?
yeah. It's a hospital. So I'm gonna be the coordinator for the CAR T cell trans.
Ooh, you're on the
Yeah,
cutting edge of the
yeah,
innovation too.
hmm yeah. It's pretty exciting when they told me that I was gonna be on that. I was so excited. Yeah.
Yeah, the
So
CAR T.
and I guess my background also helped me with that too, because they're hiring, as you said, there's a short of on people right now.
A
So
huge
because they
shortage.
have been hired a lot of another coordinators, but they're not putting on the CAR T trials. They
Yeah.
just put me on the trials and
They
this.
need like specialized knowledge in the at least in medical in medicine. I'm curious, internal medicine, did you learn a little bit about oncology? I'm sure they teach you in medical school about oncology, maybe not as in depth as an oncologist, but you
Hmm.
had the basics down, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
So like RECIST criteria and CTCAE, that was not a problem for you to
No.
understand. See, that's
Yeah.
what's helpful. That's what's helpful about being an IMG. That's awesome, Luis. Like really glad.
Yeah.
How long did this process take from starting to apply till getting hired? Like what, so we have an idea.
So I started to apply in at the end of 2020. I got my first interview like 3 to 4 months later. And then the
The
second one,
end of 2020.
yeah,
And then you just now it's January 2022 and you've only
yeah,
been working for a month. So it's an entire year.
exactly.
An
But as you,
entire year, Luis.
yeah,
What kept you from giving up? Because a lot of people they say that's too long. I'm gonna give up.
I just, when you want something, you have to go for it. And I was, the first interview that I had, it was in Johns Hopkins. So since they called me, I just kept that on me. And so I said, if they call me, they saw something on my resume. So I just kept sending emails, and I was
Wow.
I just having faith, you know. So they kept.
Wow.
I was. I just never give up. And as you said, When I was first reached to become an MA, it wasn't something that I wanted because on that initially I started to work as a MA in
Yeah.
February of last year. So I was just doing like vitals and
Hmm.
scheduling appointments.
How do
Not
you
even
feel? Because I talk to a lot of IMGs, and some of them I've worked with maybe over 20 IMGs in my career, like that I've supervised. And most of them fantastic, but every now and then you get one who they feel like it's beneath them, the job, like even coordinator, they're like, well, they start giving you attitude later. Uh, how, I don't know what I'm trying to ask, but there's like when you're a physician, it must be tough
yeah.
because physicians here in US, like most of them have egos the size of Grand
Hmm.
Canyon, right? Even if they like
Yeah,
don't show it, they do. So
they're
how
pretty cocky and
they are, but I mean, IMGs, they are also, but they have to have some
yeah.
humility, right?
Hmm.
How do you do that? Do you have any problems with this?
Initially I had it, but I think it's something that you have to cope. You have to learn how to copy on that and move forward
Yeah.
because you have your goal. I have my goal. I like research, so one I like research. I love practice medicine. And to be honest, when they hire me here, I was thinking just focus on me on research. But then since now I'm seeing what the PIs do there, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to become surgeon, but now that I'm seeing what they do, I would like to go on research path. Become an oncologist and take that path.
Wow.
It's a life changing game. It's different. So you have clear your mind that what you want because most, as you said, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be
Mm,
hard for me being a MA. It was hard initially, but then you start to make bonds with the patients.
mm.
Then the staff start to see you to see your potential. Then you can upgrade.
Right.
As it happened to me initially, they didn't allow me to do something else besides take the vitals, just ask some questions, and that's it. But then that doctor was always putting me a test, asking me things. So, and then I ended up seeing patients as I was doing in my back in Honduras.
That's awesome.
Obviously, because I don't have my license here, but still I was doing that.
So I
And
guess
then now,
the best way to deal with that um is to look at the big picture basically and not focus so much
exactly,
on your current situation.
exactly. So you want, I always said that medical school is like being in it's not the same, but it's like being in an army. It's really back in Honduras. It was really difficult also. So you have to take
Wow.
a lot of things from from your superiors, the hierarchy, and all of that, and then you just have to move on, accept it, embrace it, and move on.
Man,
So
whatever college, whatever med school you guys went to, there after your wife does that transplant, they have to rename the school after her. Are you kidding?
yeah,
They're gonna have to do something, at least a department.
yeah, right.
Wow, that's big time. So this is a great story because I always talk about it, and hopefully the guy who we're thinking of hiring, the IMG, the Mexican physician, hopefully he's gonna come on video. Not hopefully, he will come on video. I just have to get him comfortable with it. We have
Yeah.
our first meeting next week, but my NP business partner, nurse practitioner,
Hmm.
it's his colleague. He works with him currently at an urgent care. And yeah, we're gonna let him know about research. I already gave him the book and tell him about coordinator, then CRA. I mean, that's the pathway. Not to
Yeah.
mention going through ECAFMG and getting a license, maybe becoming PI, medical monitor,
Hmm.
site owner. It's
Exactly.
all everything's possible once you're in, guys.
And it's a big world. Once you are in, it's huge. It's massive.
Yeah.
Now, one of the coordinators that are the one that I'm going to be taking over on all her studies, she's moving on to the sponsor side. She's becoming a CRA. So I
You
asked
see?
her what else that I can do on the sponsor side. So, and there's a lot of things that you can do.
Pharmacovigilance. There's a lot.
Hmm.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
stuff that you can do.
and
Medical
it's a good
monitor
money as
even.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, this is fantastic, Luis. Thank you so much for your time. Anybody that wants to connect with Luis, his LinkedIn profile is underneath the video. And if you're listening to the podcast, first of all, thank you. Second of all, go connect with Luis because you may have been in his situation where he was last year. You may be there now. But guess what? Nothing stays the same. The only thing that's guaranteed is change. So that's what you guys got to look at. IMGs, love them. But this also, I feel like this message applies to anybody, not just IMG,
Hmm.
but especially IMG because you see Luis here right in front of you, and he did exactly what we talk about all the time in the videos.
Yeah. Thank you, Dan. Really, really. Being on two interviews, the first one it was a total failure for me. The second time I learned, I looked your videos, and man, they helped me. They helped me a lot. So what you
Wow.
do, what you do, it's great. I don't know. I'm really grateful with you. And when I checked the first video and I saw your phone number, I thought it was a lie. I, I thought this guy wouldn't put his phone number on a video. And
Yep.
then I text you, and then you replied me back, and I was like, man, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, text, please. Please text. Don't call. I don't answer any call I don't know, but text. I can tell right away. Okay, this is somebody who watched the video. Boom, boom, boom.
Thank you so much,
Luis,
Dan.
thank you so much, man. Continued success. I'm sure we're gonna set up Latinos in Clinical Research podcast
Sure.
with you and your wife when you guys have time. I'll make the introductions with Monica and the rest of the team, and we'll go from there. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you,
Perfect.
Luis. What an inspiration. And we'll catch you all later. Bye bye.